What's going on, guys? We've got an FXT Smart Gesture Box. This is a full setup. You get your camera, you get your transmitter, you get your antennas. We get that right there that we could go ahead and plug into the camera to adjust settings, and we can also gesture. We can use gestures to control the milliwatt and also other settings. Just to show you guys, sunny, cloudy. I'm changing this with my hand. Now, if I hold this, jumps over to the milliwatt, 600 milliwatt, pit, 25, 200, and 600. See, it's showing 600 milliwatt. So I'm a little bit confused about that. If we hold it again, it'll jump over here. And we could change that as well. So that's a little look at the gesture mode. I said I kind of wasn't going to do it, but yeah. So I'm a little confused about 600 milliwatt. If what happened here? What happened? The signal change? Yeah, actually. So that last part was a change of signal, which we changed the signal clearly, and bam, we're back to it. So that's a little look at the gesture mode, which is get this on something. So stay tuned. Alright guys, check it out. So I mounted it up front here. As you can see, there is a little nut that goes onto the screw that goes through the mount that they provided, and we have the FXT camera on there. It's all plug and play. It is all plug and play. That wire, the blue and black wire, is for you to toggle through everything with the controller that they gave you. And here, I'm just gonna tilt this way. See all the wires? Let's go ahead and focus on them. Don't be afraid. It is all plug and play. Anybody can do this. Just plug the wires together. And again, hopefully just to alleviate maybe somebody's stress. Again, this wire doesn't get plugged into anything. That's what that will get plugged into if you want to go through the options. This series of wires right here, and follow it. Bam! It just plugs into the series of wires on the transmitter, which is on the opposite side of this. Your red and black wire, focus, that comes off your transmitter says plug into 5-volt only. I've quite simply just tapped right there and plugged it into the board. And then again, you have your control wire, which is the white wire, plugs into itself. Super simple. Now with this, because this is up here, our FXT camera, and I want to be able to have it movable. I don't want to see the canopy. We are going to be rocking this backwards. We are going to be rocking this backwards. It's going to look a little silly, and I'm going to have to lightly modify this because the Bugs 3H's canopy, as you can see, has screws in it, as opposed to the prongs that we're used to on these. But I think that's how I'm going to rock it. I think we're going to go like that, and that's how I'm going to have the transmitter on top of it. And it's going to look a little bit funny, but functionality should be good. We might lose the legs too. No point in having the legs on it. All right, guys, so there she is. And again, I've stuck out that wire on the left. That's how you connect your little board to it. That way you could adjust settings and milliwatt. I've turned it up to 600 milliwatt. So just really quickly, guys, I want to show you, if you press this bottom button here, it'll go into your milliwatts. And if you can see here, shows 600, pit, 25, and 200. I had it on 600. The specifications in the sales listing show that this isn't a 600 milliwatt transmitter. So on 600, was I on 25 milliwatts? I don't know. It's quite impressive. Itty bitty little transmitter can spit out 600 milliwatts. We are flying with a stock battery. I am going to have a beeper on this because normally this would beep to the controller, but we are using the jumper. So let's go.
And we have liftoff. I am using the Fat Sharks that I have recently gotten, the Dominator V3s and the Furious module on the side of it. So we are going to give that a run. I could have done a whole FXT video here, but we figured switch it up a little bit. So this is DVR recorded from that. We are going to run this, and we are going to run this good. We're going to give this a distance run. We're going to run close to the ground. We're going to have a nice flight here, a really enjoyable flight. Now, I know a lot of you guys have noted in your videos, have also noted in the comments of some of my Bugs 3 videos, this is a 3H, that your batteries aren't holding up long. Dude, my battery held up pretty long for this. Like, I'm going to do a lot of jabberjawing here. This was a decent flight. This was a nice flight. It was a fun flight. It's always nice to get behind goggles for around 10 minutes. Spoiler alert, my battery that was poorly maintained that I just charged today just about got a 10-minute flight with the beeper being powered to it, with a 600 milliwatt transmitter, and the FXT camera. So that's pretty dope. That is pretty dope. So I don't know what type of charger you guys are using. Me personally, I like to charge on a B6 with XT32 cell batteries. I like to go with the Sky Viper V 2900s charger. It charges it a little bit over than what the B6 will charge it, so it's a little bit more juiced, and I seem to get nicer flight times with that. But this is raw fun, and again, we are using the Jumper T8 SG2. The Plus model with the Hall gimbals and the OLED display on it. Now right here, dude, we're cutting close. We are cutting close to some of these trees, and it makes for good footage. Definitely gonna have to get a Q6 on this, or some type of action camera that's gonna record in 1080p 60 frames per second. Because I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with the DVR quality here. And it might not be a fair shake. The sun is just about set over to the left. You'll get a glimpse of it here and there as we go through the video. Now, right here, as we are getting, we get static. And then I was gonna chicken out and turn back. Well, nah, we'll keep going a little bit. So that's decent range. That's decent range. And on the turn back, you're gonna see pop up and pop up. That right there is controller to drone signal loss. So I was lucky that I didn't have to go do the longest walk of shame ever. If that happens, hold your controller up above your head and get your control back and keep flying, as you can see that I've done right here. The antenna is pop right, it's stuck to the body. I thought about changing it, but then I figured no, we're gonna leave that stock just to kind of show you guys what type of range you can expect from the Jumper. All in all, this setup is pretty dope, dude. The transmitter is super small. The transmitter is super small, guys, and I'm blown away when I went into the options and seen it had the ability of 600 milliwatt. Gonna do a little ground running, and then we're gonna pop up and twist. This is not an acro drone. This drone is in stab mode. This was one of the drones that came out after the Bugs 3s that offered altitude hold, and the controller itself wasn't a fan. If you've been following me a while, this was the drone that I actually caught out of the air once or twice, as I had to just shut it down because it was going back to fly to the motherland. But this is good money. And as you can see, the transmitter, the FXT camera, the whole all-in-one setup that they provided in a little package. Bam, running over some water. That's some trust. The whole package that they provided is not affecting the drone at all. We're getting a little bit of static when we're like, dude, we got trees. We got like 2 planes of trees blocking us. But as soon as we get above those, it clears up. So this is definitely nice. I do think might have got a little bit clearer reception with the FXT goggles, not gonna lie. Not say the Fat Sharks aren't great or anything. Dude, I'm gonna do some side-by-side testing once the weather gets nice. Which right here was a break in the day. It was a break in the day. I worked all day. It was a break in the day. I was fortunate to get out without any type of rain. But we're gonna do some side-by-side testings. Now this is gesture mode. You don't need that little push button keypad type looking thing plug into your camera if you didn't want to. You can look through your FXT goggles or your Fat Shark goggles or whatever goggles you got, your E-Sheens, your Maker Fires, whatever. Sync it up to this camera, and then you can kind of like flash your hands in front of it. I'm not going to demonstrate that because I thought that might be a little bit boring, a little bit long of a wind-up. I try not to do long wind-ups. I try to get right to it. But I did want to show you guys how to set this up and how basic it was, and that it was just plug and play. Quadcopter 101. If you jump over there, especially on the video that I'm going to tell you to go look at, tell him J Drone sent you. It's always good for us YouTubers to be linking up and trying to help one another out. I know he don't need no help. He's a big dog. But Quadcopter 101 has the same unit and showed the gesture mode. Showed him flashing his hands in front of it and controlling the functions. But all in all, this is flying great. The footage from it is pretty good, all things considering that I think the DVR on these Fat Sharks might be a little bit dark, and also because the sun's setting. The sun is definitely setting. Now there is again the ability to get on that keypad and touch in on different modes. I'll insert that all the way at the end. I'll insert showing the different modes and whatnot all the way at the end. And inside, you'll see that the color clarity is much better than it was outside. So again, might not be a fair shake on the DVR here, just for the simple fact that the sun is not overhead. It is setting as we speak. All in all, guys, fun, fun, fun. And that's what it's about. If you are in a YouTube game, if you're in the drone game for any other reason but fun, well, I'm sorry. Myself, I like fun, and this is a lot of fun. This was one of the more funner, yes, I said funner, one of the more funner flights that I've had in a while, and I think it's because of the time that I spent in the goggles. As of late, the time that I've been spending in goggles has been limited because I've been running small whoops, center whoops, and whatnot, and it's just limited. There was a little altitude climb for you guys. Nothing too crazy. Then we're going to do a mild dive towards the earth as best as we can here. This was great. And again, Bugs 3H. When's the last time you seen J Drone flying a Bugs 3H? I fly the Bugs 3, we fly the F100s, fly the Bugs 2s. Dude, this thing was covered in dust. Not gonna lie. This drone was covered in dust. It was just sitting, gathering dust. That's what it was doing. And I got this in from FXT. This was sent to me from FXT. I do appreciate you, FXT. This was sent to me from them. And I'm trying to think, what am I going to put this on? What am I going to put this on? And it's like, well, bam, that's a good Bugs 3H. Let's revitalize, let's wake up the Bugs 3H and make it useful. And this flight was useful. This flight was fun. This flight was enjoyable. I do believe on my spare time, I'm going to, and again, stock battery. I'm not using a 3000 milliamp an hour from Engpow like I've been using for my FPV flights with the F100 that I had the Cyclops cam in it. This is stock battery. This is the battery that's in the hard shell case that is stock, that comes with these drones. And we got an epic flight time. And our flight is coming to an end here within the next minute or so. I could have did this for a half hour. I could have jabberjawed to you guys for a half hour easily. Bam, little road running, fall on the road, meow, over some water. That's fun. That's fun right there too, especially in goggles. If you haven't done a little road running, I highly encourage you to do a little road running. But yeah, so I mean, this was a simple setup. It was all plug and play. There was no splicing, there was no wiring, there was no soldering. It was all plug and play, man. Even the power source, there was a 5-volt plug. And we are going to crash here. Crash landing right into the grass. Bam!
Guys, you can see my voltage, 3.42, 3.28. I actually had, I don't know what I had it set at, but obviously this drone didn't allow it to get as low as I had it set. I think I might have had it set at 2.85 or maybe 2.9 or something. So the buzzer never went off and I never heard it. I do have another battery on me, and I don't know if I'm going to include it in this or not, but I am going to go for a flight, and I think I'm going to adjust that. The way you adjust that is by that button up top. But if I don't include it, dude, that was fun. That was fun. That was great fun. Everything got wet. Our camera did not, so I'm good to go. And again, 600 milliwatt, dude, that's epic for such a, look how small this is, dude. Compared to my finger, that's all it is. It's the top part of my finger, and it's pumping out 600 milliwatts. And we got a dope flight time. We got a dope flight time with that on 600 milliwatts. So don't be afraid to throw that on 600 milliwatts. Again, FXT, all-in-one type setup here. Link for it will be down below. If you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button later.
Okay guys, once you plug that keypad in, press the center button, you will get this entire setup right here, and then you can page down. Once you page down, you can see it moves up and down. Going to FPV setup, you can see time on. Power, the power is judging off of my 5-volt thing, so it just shows 5 volts, so you can hit the right, and that'll turn that off. We can go down to exposure and change that if we wanted to. We are going to keep it on color. I assume that this has night mode, and in here, we're not going to change anything. I'm just kind of going through the menus, that way you can see them. Click on factory, do a factory reset. We are not going to do a factory reset. We are going to save it, and once we save it and go to the next screen, you can see all we have is our time.